Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TUBEBUDDY. I've used TUBEBUDDY for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TUBEBUDDY is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TUBEBUDDY and level up your channel faster. We work. Oh man, this is not good. Promoter of George Kambosos, Lou DiBella, he says that he feels Teofimo Lopez is not gonna get $5 million for a fight with Kambosos. So that's basically both promoters, and we're gonna talk about that, disputing what Teofimo has put out in the public. And what does this mean? What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, y'all know what to do. Before I get started, use TUBEBUDDY. I use TUBEBUDDY. I've used it for years. You've seen the commercial at the beginning. TUBEBUDDY is a great resource. It's a browser extension to level up your YouTube content, make the creation process better and more efficient with things that YouTube doesn't have baked into it. So it's a great tool and utility to grow your channel, and I personally use it. So use my link in the description if you're interested in TUBEBUDDY and ordering that as an extension. Now let's talk about Teofimo. Teofimo beat Lomachenko. I've said this, he seems to be feeling himself, and Lou DiBella did an interview, and let's go over what Lou DiBella said. Quote, "I promote George Kambosos, and let me tell you something. Kambosos isn't going in this fight to lose. George isn't going to go into this fight like it's some kind of mismatch thinking he can't win." He goes on to talk about it. "I know Teofimo is not going to want to give up his IBF belt. He loves being undisputed, even though he's really not undisputed, but that's another issue. He doesn't want to give up a belt, so I think it will be the Kambosos fight. But let me ask you a question. Are you going to see Ryan Garcia fight now? No. Are you going to see a Haney fight now? No. Are you going to see Gervonta Davis right now? No. The kid Teofimo just fought Lomachenko, so I think it's perfectly fine fight to see Teofimo and George Kambosos. But the big problem is Teofimo said he sent contracts to both Devin Haney and George Kambosos, and now you have the promoter of Kambosos saying that you're not going to get any of the bigger fights like Ryan Garcia and Haney and things like that, despite what Teofimo has said, thus causing the conflict. I think my kid is an obvious underdog, but he's not a dead underdog. He's a live underdog, and I just hung up with Bob Arum 2 minutes before I got on the phone with you. He's negotiating with his own fighter, right? And he's talking about the purse bid. He said, "I've known Bob forever. This is one of the things that's become endearing about Bob at 89 years old. He doesn't give a flying uck about what he says. Bob has no filter right now, and I think he's earned the right to not have a filter. With that being said, it's probably not made his relationship any better with Teofimo, but he has no filter. These are economically trying times for everyone in boxing, including with the promoters and the managers, even including the networks and streaming platforms. It is a difficult time during a pandemic, so it's not shocking to me that an 89-year-old man who is one of the most accomplished promoters in history doesn't give a ish about what he's saying," meaning Teofimo. That's where Bob is right now. Now, this is where it gets real interesting. Lou DiBella continues and says, "There's so much bullish by fighters on social media right now about what they're entitled to, X number of million of dollars. Behind the scenes, I don't know where the kid Teofimo is at, but I don't think he's insisting necessarily for $5 million or his next fight, but I don't know. I think the kid is more reasonable than that, and he's with David McWater and Split T Management. They know the business, so I don't think they're going to hold out. They're never going to get $5 million for anybody to fight Kambosos. And frankly, if they were fighting Devin Haney right now, they wouldn't get $5 million because it's not a pay-per-view fight. Does he regret saying that? Lately, I've seen less of that from Teofimo publicly, and I hope he keeps it that way. I don't think anyone enjoys seeing fighters bantering around crazy numbers on social media. When I see Spence and Crawford out there talking about who's the A side and how many tens of millions they're going to make, I shrug my shoulders and say, that's why the fight is probably not going to happen, end quote. Now, I don't really care about the Spence Crawford fight because we know that's probably not happening next. So that was just something that Lou said, and I wanted to finish the quote. But he says they're never going to, this is split team management, McWater, and team Teofimo Lopez. I'm going to repeat it. They're never going to get $5 million for anybody to fight Kambosos. End quote. So Lou DiBella is Kambosos' promoter, and he too is in agreement with the other promoter that would possibly put on this fight, or at least the two obvious suspects that would try to win this purse bid that's coming up this week, right? And for some reason, McWater, split team management, Teofimo Lopez, they've opted to, not take the minimum or whatever, thinking they're worth more. And now it's going to purse bid. So this could come to bite you in the butt, because just some rough math. A purse bid is an auction. The winning bid, that person, that company gets to put on this fight. And they, have control over certain things, have to make it by a certain date, etc. As a champion, per IBF rules, the champion, Teofimo, IBF champion, he would get and be entitled to 65% of the winning bid. And 35 would go to, of course, the challenger, or George Kambosos. So just with rough math, Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosos in an auction style purse bid, the winning bid would have to be over $7 million. Over $7 million. And just to give you guys an idea, because purse bids don't always happen, because a lot of times the fighters and teams rather amicably, put the fight together themselves instead of deal with like mandated splits and things like that. But the last time that I could recall recently for a big fight was pre-pandemic Deontay Wilder and Alexander Povetkin. There was a rich Russian promoter, Ryabinsky, and he bid like $7.1 million to win the Wilder fight. So Wilder was going to have to fight Povetkin in Russia, but Wilder ended up suing Povetkin because Povetkin failed a drug test and messed up all his money, and the fight got, canceled or whatever. So ultimately, the reason why we're talking about this when it comes to Teofimo is, again, the winning bid would have to be over $7 million for Teofimo to get $5 million. So I don't know what he's expecting. I don't know if he's just aiming high or whatever. However, this is a bad look for Teofimo Lopez, because he told people via social media November 24th, a couple months ago, that his minimum, his newfound minimum, was $5 million. This has now been refuted by both his own promoter, Bob Arum, who's trying to pay his minimum. Per the Athletic article, they said 1.25 million is all Bob is trying to pony up for the Kambosos fight, saying this is not a marquee fight. This is not like, a blockbuster deal, and I'm not going to go bankrupt for my fighters and do what doesn't make sense for the business. And now you have Kambosos' promoter, two of the people that are probably working to try to put this fight together, and he too is agreeing they are never going to get $5 million in a pandemic for a fight like this. So Teofimo, he kind of went AWOL, and he's telling people he's the A side over Devin Haney, he's the A side over Ryan, and most shockingly, he's the A side over Gervonta Davis. And he's claiming he's going to get a minimum. And I showed you guys on the screen the tweet from November, and he says he was going to get 5 million minimums from here on out, which I made videos when he first said that, and I'm like, that sounds a bit extreme. So now it looks like it's proven to be cap, unless somebody, we'll just wait for the purse bid, but the purse bid should be this week. We'll get more information. I really don't see him getting that type of money. I don't know if they're even trying to do it in Australia with the live crowd. So if it's in the bubble, no crowd, or if it's in New York with no crowd or limited crowd, it's just, I don't see him getting that type of money with the 65% split. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Just a bad look a lot of the young fighters, they keep relying on Instagram and social media and Twitters and stuff and put all their business and numbers in the streets, and then it just comes back to bite you when you do that too much. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Also, order TUBEBUDDY if you're interested in growing your channel and level that up. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.